The K9 Rehabilitation Center was quiet that morning, the kind of silence broken only by distant barks and the soft echo of footsteps on concrete. When the doors opened, no one expected the man who stepped inside. He moved carefully, tapping a white cane across the floor, his posture disciplined but cautious. Ethan Cole was a former combat veteran, blind for 3 years after an explosion overseas changed his life forever. He had survived war, but surviving peace had been harder. Ethan had come for one reason. He needed a guide dog. Not just an animal trained to lead him around obstacles, but a companion who could walk beside him through the darkness that never lifted. A staff member named Laura greeted him with a polite smile and guided him down the main hallway, explaining the process, the evaluations, the calm and gentle dogs already prepared for adoption. Ethan listened, nodding, but his attention drifted elsewhere. As they moved deeper into the building, the sounds changed. Most of the dogs barked playfully or whined with curiosity. But suddenly, a violent snarl tore through the air. The metal kennels rattled as something massive slammed against the bars. Laura stopped instantly. "We'll avoid this section," she said quickly. "That dog isn't part of the program." Ethan turned his head slightly. He couldn't see the kennel, but he felt the sound in his chest. It wasn't just anger. There was pain in it. Confusion. Something raw and broken. "What's wrong with him?" Ethan asked. Laura hesitated before answering. "That's Rex," she said quietly. "A retired police dog. Extremely aggressive. He attacked 2 handlers after his partner was killed in the line of duty. He's been in isolation ever since. Not adoptable. Not safe." They continued walking, but Ethan's focus stayed behind. Every step pulled him back toward that kennel. He recognized the sound because it felt familiar. He had heard that same rage in his own nightmares, felt it boiling beneath the surface when the world went dark after the explosion. As they passed nearby, the snarling suddenly stopped. No barking. No movement. Just heavy breathing from behind steel bars. Laura didn't notice, but Ethan did. He slowed. The air felt different, charged with attention. "He stopped," Ethan said softly. Laura frowned. "That's unusual. He never calms down." Ethan felt his pulse quicken. Whatever that dog was, whatever he had been through, he was listening now. And for reasons Ethan couldn't explain, he felt as though something on the other side of those bars understood him far better than anyone else ever had. Laura tried to guide Ethan forward, eager to put distance between them and the dangerous kennel, but Ethan stopped. He angled his body slightly toward the sound, focusing on the slow, heavy breathing coming from behind the bars. The dog hadn't resumed barking. Instead, he paced in short steps, claws scraping softly against concrete. "That dog is watching you," Laura said nervously. Ethan swallowed. "He's not angry anymore." "That doesn't mean he's safe," she replied. "Rex has injured trained professionals. He reacts violently to anyone who comes near." Yet as they stood there, Rex didn't lunge or snarl. He stood still, listening. Ethan could sense it the same way he sensed danger on patrol years ago. The dog was alert, not aggressive. Curious, maybe even confused. Handlers nearby whispered among themselves, stunned by the silence. Rex never stopped pacing when strangers were close. One of them muttered, "This isn't normal." Ethan took a careful step closer. Laura grabbed his arm. "Please don't. If he attacks, we won't be able to stop him in time." Ethan raised a calming hand. If he wanted to attack, he already would have. The dog's breathing changed, slower now, deeper. A faint sound escaped his throat. Not a growl. A whine. It sent a chill through everyone watching. Rex had not made that sound since his partner died. Laura whispered, "Why is he reacting like this?" Ethan didn't answer. He didn't need to. He understood. Pain recognizes pain. Loss recognizes loss. Rex had lost his handler in an explosion. Ethan had lost his sight, his team, and the life he knew the same way. Laura finally spoke again, her voice softer. His handler's name was Officer Grant. They worked together for 5 years. When Grant was killed, Rex refused to leave his body. After that, something in him broke. Ethan's jaw tightened. "So did something in me." Without thinking, Ethan stepped closer until he stood just feet from the bars. Rex approached slowly, his massive form stopping inches away. No teeth. No snapping. Just breathing and trembling. The handlers froze, unsure whether to intervene or witness what felt impossible. Ethan reached out, stopping short of the metal. "You're not broken," he whispered. Rex pressed his nose against the bars, whining softly. It was a sound of grief, not threat. Laura's eyes filled with tears. She had worked here for years and never seen this dog allow anyone near him. In that moment, everyone understood something had changed. This blind veteran hadn't come looking for the perfect guide dog. He had found something else entirely. A wounded guardian who, against all odds, had finally found someone who understood him. The director of the facility arrived moments later, his expression hardening as soon as he saw where Ethan was standing. "Get him away from that kennel," he ordered. "That dog is unstable." As handlers moved forward, Rex reacted instantly. He stepped between Ethan and the approaching men, a deep warning rumble vibrating through his chest. It wasn't rage. It was protection. Ethan felt it immediately. "Easy," he murmured, lowering his hand. Rex stayed firm but didn't attack. The director shook his head. "This is exactly why he can't be adopted. Remove the civilian now." Before anyone could act, alarms blared through the building. Red lights flashed. Smoke poured from a nearby corridor. Someone shouted, "Fire in the secured wing." Chaos erupted. Staff rushed to evacuate animals and people. Laura grabbed Ethan's arm. "We have to leave now." Ethan froze. "Rex is still inside." "The fire doors are sealed," a handler yelled. "We can't reach him." Ethan's heart dropped. He knew what it meant to be trapped, helpless, abandoned in smoke and darkness. He pulled free from Laura's grip. "I'm not leaving him." "You're blind," she shouted. "You'll die in there." He won't let that happen. Before anyone could stop him, Ethan ran toward the smoke. Inside the kennel wing, flames cracked overhead. Rex slammed against the bars, barking desperately. Then he heard it. Ethan's voice cutting through the chaos. "Rex." The dog barked back, louder, guiding him. Ethan followed the sound, coughing, cane striking walls until his hand found the kennel gate. The metal was burning hot. With shaking hands, he yanked again and again until the weakened lock snapped. Rex burst free, circling Ethan frantically. Then he pressed his body against him and turned, guiding him away from the flames. Step by step, Rex led Ethan through smoke and falling debris, shielding him until they burst into fresh air. Firefighters stared in disbelief. The most dangerous dog in the center had just saved a blind man's life. Rex collapsed beside Ethan, trembling but victorious. He hadn't attacked anyone. He had protected the one person who refused to abandon him. In that moment, the label dangerous no longer mattered. Everyone saw the truth. Rex wasn't a threat. He was a hero who had finally found his purpose again. The fire was contained, but nothing at the rehabilitation center was the same afterward. As medics treated Ethan, Rex refused to leave his side. He blocked anyone who came too close, only relaxing when Ethan spoke calmly to him. The staff watched in stunned silence. This was the same dog they feared, now acting as a perfect guardian. The director approached slowly, his voice quieter than before. "That dog saved you." Ethan nodded. "He did what he was trained to do. Protect." "And you?" the director asked. "Why did you go back for him?" Ethan took a breath. "Because no one came back for me when everything went dark. I know what that feels like." Rex rested his head against Ethan's leg as if agreeing. By morning, paperwork was rewritten. Rules were reconsidered. The director finally said the words no one expected. "You can adopt him." Weeks passed and Rex transformed in ways that amazed everyone. With Ethan he was calm, focused, gentle. He learned to guide him through crowded streets, around obstacles and across busy intersections. People who once crossed the street in fear now stopped to watch in awe. At night, Rex slept beside Ethan's bed, lifting his head at every sound until he heard Ethan's steady breathing. Ethan would reach down and rest a hand on Rex's head, grounding them both. Months later, they were invited to a police ceremony. Officers stood in formation as the chief spoke about courage and redemption. "This dog was once labeled dangerous," he said. "Today he stands as proof that understanding can heal even the deepest wounds." Applause filled the room. Rex sat proudly beside Ethan, no longer isolated, no longer feared. Ethan smiled, tears forming in eyes that could not see but felt everything. He leaned down and whispered, "I didn't rescue you." Rex pressed his forehead gently against Ethan's chest. "You rescued me." Together they walked forward, not as broken souls, but as partners who had found light in each other's darkness. A blind veteran and a once feared dog, proving to the world that sometimes the most dangerous thing isn't trauma itself, but ignoring the pain that needs to be understood.